What's draining your strength and you're letting it? Proverbs 31 hits with a pretty heavy and fiery warning. Do not spend your strength on women, your vigor on those who ruin kings. Now, before you go ahead and just side-eye me about the language that's being used, this isn't about romance. This isn't about other things. I think it's about distraction. Because have you ever poured your energy into a dead-end job, or chased the approval from toxic people, or wasted time scrolling when you know you should be doing more? Well, here we are, y'all, in Proverbs 31, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Clint, and this is 31 days in a book of Proverbs. We've been doing a proverb a day for the past 31 days, and we have made it to the end. So congratulations, and I am happy to say that there will be a playlist linked somewhere up here if you want to check that out, or I'll link it in the description so that you can always go back and go through the whole 31 days and just rewatch these and try to get deeper into the book of Proverbs. That you can always go ahead and watch this throughout a month, any month of the year, and just keep yourself caught up. And I think that's a really good thing. So here we are in the book of Proverbs in chapter 31, and what I found interesting, after doing a little bit of research that is a little bit outside of the normal Bible study, was that this was written originally in Hebrew, and I think it was written for young men to try to memorize. So alphabetically, it's like an acronym, so every verse has the letter. So alphabetically in the Hebrew language, there's 22 letters. So every verse starts off alphabetically with, say, A, starts off with an A verse. Then B starts off with a B, and then the C, all the way through their alphabet. 22 verses, starting in verse 10. I find that really cool and amazing. I wouldn't have thought that would have happened, but God is pretty amazing. And I think that was pretty insightful. So if you want to join me in diving into Proverbs chapter 31, you can follow along. I'll be in the CSB, and let's go ahead and get started. The words of King Lemuel, a pronouncement that his mother taught him. What should I say, my son? What son of my womb? What son of my vows? Don't spend your energy on women, or your efforts on those who destroy kings. It is not for kings, Lemuel. It is not for kings to drink wine, or for rulers to desire beer. Otherwise, he will drink and forget what is decreed, and pervert justice for all the oppressed. Give beer to one who is dying, and wine to one whose life is bitter. Let him drink so that he can forget his poverty and remember his trouble no more. Speak up for those who have no voice, for the justice of all who are dispossessed. Speak up, judge righteously, and defend the cause of the oppressed and needy. Who can find a wife of noble character? She is far more precious than jewels. The heart of her husband trusts in her, and he will not lack anything good. She rewards him with good, not evil, all the days of her life. She selects wool and flax and works with willing hands. She is like the merchant ships, bringing her food from far away. She rises while it is still night and provides food for her household and portions for her female servants. She evaluates a field and buys it. She plants a vineyard with her earnings. She draws on her strength and reveals that her arms are strong. She sees that her profits are good, and her lamp never goes out at night. She extends her hands to the spinning staff, and her hands hold the spindle. Her hands reach out to the poor, and she extends her hands to the needy. She is not afraid for her household when it snows, for all in her household are doubly clothed. She makes her own bed coverings. Her clothing is fine linen and purple. Her husband is known at the city gates, where he sits among the elders of the land. She makes and sells linen garments. She delivers belts to the merchants. Strength and honor are her clothing, and she can laugh at the time to come. Her mouth speaks wisdom, and loving instruction is on her tongue. She watches over the activities of her household and is never idle. Her children rise up and call her blessed. Her husband also praises her. Many women have done noble deeds, but you surpass them all. Charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord will be praised. Give her the reward of her labor, and let her works praise her at the city gates. That is Proverbs chapter 31. So I think I'm just going to go back through and, jump around a little bit and pick out some things that I really thought kind of stuck out or don't really get talked about too much. But, like right at the beginning, I really like how it really talks about how it's a woman that's writing this letter to her son that's near and dear to her. And we can see that just plays right off the bat where it says, my son, this is verse 2, what son of my womb, what son of my vow. So that's like, bringing that real near and dear, like this is my son who came out of my womb, out of my vows and my marriage, which is pretty powerful. And then I really like how it talks about the drinking aspect right off the bat, because I'm not a fan of alcohol or anyone being okay with alcohol. I really think it's very destructive. It's not good for your health. It's not good for anything. And in here, it's like it's not right for kings to drink wine or for rulers to desire beer. And if you bring that up to today, it's just like anybody in any type of leadership or anybody that wants any type of success in their life. It's like you can't be somebody that drinks. Honestly, you can't be somebody that's like okay with drinking. Because in verse 5, it just goes right into it. Otherwise, he will drink and forget what is decreed, pervert justice for all the oppressed. That's just blatant wisdom, going against alcohol. Like, don't be somebody. If you're trying to be in a leadership role, be in charge of your household, please don't be a drunkard. Please don't be okay with alcohol, because I've been there and I've struggled through it. And honestly, we can all do better without it. It ain't a big deal. And then it kind of goes right into who it can be okay for somebody to drink. Like somebody, in the way it was described in a sermon that I'd listened to, it was like for like almost like the homeless people or somebody that was like on their deathbed. It's like they're basically on their last legs and struggling with a lot of pain and sickness. And somebody that's impoverished, just let them have their alcohol if they want to have. And it was also used as more of a sedative back then than how it is commonly used today, and where you can just get it so freely everywhere. So then it goes right into verse 8 and verse 9 to like speak up for those that have no voice, and justice for those who are dispossessed. Be a person that speaks up and judges righteously and absolutely defend the needy and those that are oppressed. Then we get into the poem that I think is like, I don't know if it's really a poem, but it's basically the Hebrew acronym for this mother has written for her son to hopefully find a good wife. If it's in God's word, then God has written this for men and women to what to look for in a good wife, in a good woman. And these are some seriously boss characteristics that a woman of God can strive to. And there wasn't like a woman, like John the Baptist was here, and Jesus said that there was no one greater than him ever born. So it's not like this was a woman that was here and lived this amazing life. So it's not like there was a person, so strive to be like her. This is more like words like that you can try to use as a mirror to reflect on your own life. Like, do you rise early while it's still night to provide food for your household? These little things that we can, even for men too, to try to attain these very difficult goals to reach for. She draws strength and reveals that her arms are strong. I don't think that means she's in the gym, but that means like she's out there working. Like she's there providing for her household and honoring her husband and all these wonderful things that God would like to see in women nowadays, and men to, strive to find a great wife. I mean, if you get a good woman of God, if you're a dude and you are following Jesus and you are being a wholesome, God-fearing, Holy Spirit-filled man, then you are going to find one of these women are going to be so attracted to you, and you're going to have such a wholesome Christian marriage that, these types of things aren't going to be a question in your marriage, because one who finds a good wife finds a good thing. So, in closing, I'd like to end off saying, like it says in the beginning, will you waste your strength chasing emptiness, chasing these empty trends, scrolling, or are you going to invest in things in your life that's going to last? Invest in your spiritual life. Are you going to look self-consciously at your own life, and will you let others define what your true worth is? Or will you find your true worth in what God is, in what God says you are? Are you going to rise early, work smarter, and laugh at the days to come, like it says in verse 25? Anyway, that's all I got for today. Thank you for joining me on this journey of 31 days in the book of Proverbs. I will be back to do deeper dive in the book of Proverbs in each of the chapters throughout, the coming weeks and months, just because I really enjoy the book of Proverbs, and I know we can all benefit from studying the book of Proverbs. So please be back for that. Leave a like and subscribe. I'll leave a link for the playlist so that you can check out the whole 31 days in the book of Proverbs, throughout your day whenever you want in the future. And I hope you have a good week in time, and I shall see you guys in another one. And bye for now.